Hi YouTube, it's me, Blanchi. I have permission to share this story with y'all. It's called I Lived Next Door to a Haunted Fire Station. Some might say the house was haunted, but I believe I just got some haunted overlap from the other locations, as nothing ever happened inside my house. Here are a few of the weird experiences. The ages are my rough collection of what age I was at the time. The most recent story happened about 20 years ago. I am 39 now. Number 1. Age 13. Looked out my bedroom window at night, and I swear I saw a woman dressed in white floating on the street, headed towards the fire station next door, before fading out, fully disappearing just before entering the building wall. My parents never believed me, and neither did anybody else. For a while, I started not to believe it myself, but now I know 100% it was real. But we'll get to that. Number 2. Age 14. I woke up in the dead of night hearing what sounded like a crowd of people shrieking next door. It only lasted a few minutes, but it was unforgettable. It sounded like a dozen women were being murdered simultaneously. My brother and I got up to check it out and walked on the porch. The two firefighters on duty were walking around with flashlights trying to figure out what they just heard also. I didn't connect this to my previous account until later, but after this I was always wary of the station because I knew it was 100%, unlike before when I was the only witness. We never discovered a source. Number 3. Age 16. This one's my brother's, who at the time was 18 years old. He came home really late and told me that he saw a glowing orb the size of a basketball flying just above the tree line down the direction of the highway. It didn't literally follow every turn on the highway, but due to how high off the ground it was, could be seen from most spots on the highway. He followed it for several minutes until it reached the station and was hovering over top of it. He came inside and told me I had to see it. When I came out, it was gone. He still insists it was real. Number 4. There were countless stories from the firefighters insisting that the station was haunted. Some described the same shrieks I heard that night, only on multiple other nights. Apparently, they were extra loud that night. Probably why I heard them that time, but not the many times before. They also would insist that it knocked items off shelves regularly for them, and a couple of them experienced what they described as an indoor wind funnel blowing violently and thrashing a room for a bit before dying down. Number 5. Age 19. I was working on a fence outside my parents' house and was working on the segment facing the fire department when I saw their window shatter. Not be punched in or out, just the window sitting there perfectly, then it just exploded in all directions. A moment later, the firefighter on duty looks out the window and yells to me, "What the fuck was that?" I told I had no idea and came over to examine the window. There was glass both the inside and the outside the building, some of it as far as several yards away from the frame itself. Neither of us mentioned the ghost, but I'm sure we were both thinking about it. I've just always worried about being labeled a loon by John believers, and I didn't know this firefighter personally. That's where my encounters end. I haven't had any more because I moved out of the house after that, and my parents moved a couple of years later as well. It's been nearly 20 years since I was there again, but occasionally I consider swinging by if I'm in the area again and seeing if the current firefighters are having the same problems the old crew had. Okay, so this story is creepy. Imagine living next door to a haunted location. I would be like at my window with a camera recording it, especially with all these phones having the technology to pick up orbs and such without an app. So, what did y'all think? Comment down below. Click on the thumbs up or thumbs down. Your opinion matters. Subscribe, it's free. Bye bye, butterflies.